Episode 90, and Happy New Year, everyone. I mean,
Woo!
we're almost 2 weeks late, but
Ah,
I feel like we should have some confetti and a parade
like
and
a
something. Then. Exactly. We came
streamers.
unprepared. We keep telling people how professional and prepared this podcast is, and then we have the New Year's episode, and there is no parade. But it's not like we are entirely unprepared because
Could you add it in the post-production? Maybe just some like confetti. Maybe when people see this, they're like, "It looks like you are prepared."
I mean, the thing is, now that you've actually mentioned it on the recording, I guess the answer is no either way. Anyways, we only came half unprepared because we're also super prepared because this show is called Finding Data Friends, and we found yet another new friend. Hello, friend.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Hey, McKenna. It is nice to see you. Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me.
Of course. For those that have not met you before, would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
Absolutely.
Or medium quick, I mean. Doesn't
Medium
have to be that quick.
You can cut me off. I'm a talker. So, hello, Happy New Year. My name's McKenna Berkman. I use she, her pronouns. I am a program manager at Microsoft. I am on the SQL Experiences team. So I've worked on things like the Azure Portal. I've worked on Fabric SQL. And the newest, very hot off the presses thing that I am about to work on is SSMS, which is very exciting.
Ooh.
So I get to, yes, I'm super excited. I get to partner with Erin Stellato and learn a ton from her. I'm excited to meet the very enthusiastic SSMS community and become a part of that. So that is like, we figured that out this week, what my new focus is going to be. So very excited.
Awesome.
Nice.
I feel like that's an exciting area at the moment with the new base for SSMS and all the new things that are coming.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
A lot to learn, but I'm very excited.
And it's one of the things that so many people underestimate what potential comes with that. Besides dark mode people, I feel like I should have worn my SSMS 21 shirt for this episode, not the I think it was 2 episodes ago, but
if only we'd known.
Again, unprepared. This is what is happening. Anyways, we will just stall people and distract them. I have a very great distracting question, so people will not notice that I'm wearing the wrong shirt. McKenna, what is your favorite data thing?
Yes. So this is something relatively recent, like end of the year. Do either of you use Spotify?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm more an Apple Music person.
That's okay. Sorry. Well, that's okay because what I'm going to talk about, I think Apple Music has too. I'm, of course, talking about the Spotify Wrapped. So if you have Spotify or Apple Music, if you're on social media, you might see sort of these end of year stats that people post. So just to explain, Spotify, music streaming platform, they do this really cool thing at the end of the year. They've done it for several years now at this point. And they basically just summarize all of what you've listened to, how many minutes you've listened to music, what your top artists, top songs were, what like percentage of top listeners you were for your favorite artists. And what I really like about it is that it's just such a cool mainstream application of data. Like all of my friends who, don't think twice about data in their daily lives, like will be sharing this. And I just love data's everywhere. And I just love these like, commercialized, but really accessible data applications. And it kind of can show the really fun and interesting side. It can get people excited about data that maybe aren't usually excited. So I've always kind of been, I don't know, I like that kind of stuff. I've always liked, I like to hike and exercise. So I have like Strava or, Garmin data. So I've always liked to kind of dig into data, and I like to see how companies can make that accessible to non-data people. So that's top of mind for me of what's the most recent, fun, exciting data thing.
I feel like that is a very different answer than most people give us. Like that was awesome. And I totally agree. Like the people in my life that are not in the data community, like don't even think about data, but then you're right. They care about their Strava stats or their lifting numbers or their Spotify numbers. Like It's literally everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah. I also love the Spotify Wrapped because every time I'm like, I'm sure it won't be all the same people. And then
Every
Taylor
time.
Swift's there giving me a wave. Oh, well. Yeah, that's cool.
I probably should start using Spotify if only just for that. I don't think Apple Music actually does that. Or I may just not have found it.
I thought it did something similar because I think there
they've
was
caught
like
up.
some drama around the fact they didn't do it, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we do that too." Like I saw that
Which
somewhere online, but I don't know for sure.
kind of proves my failing point there that it's apparently very well hidden, which you should not do with especially such a feature. What I regularly use when it comes to that is also a data-driven feature of Apple Music. I regularly listen to my favorites playlist that Apple Music is picking from me, and sometimes I'm like, this week was really, really good, and sometimes like, I didn't even know half the songs in that list. How are these my favorites? They're not even.
Yeah. Yeah, I think another thing that Spotify has done recently that I've noticed. So I have a playlist that's all the songs that I've liked. So like they are songs I've heard before, and I've had to star them. But you can do like it's called like Smart Shuffle or something. So it shuffles the playlist of all the things I like, but then it will mix in some that it thinks like fit into that pattern too, which is kind of cool. But sometimes it's like this is terrible. Sometimes it's great, you know. But
I mean, they have that thing called new music, which is kind of supposed to do exactly that. When it's called "These Are Your Favorites," I kind of expect to have heard that song before, but this may just be me. I mean, what do I know?
Totally. Awesome. Well, I think you maybe hinted at what the answer to the next question was, but we'll throw it out there anyway. In that, what is your favorite non-data thing?
Yeah, good question. Well, so yeah, I did mention hiking. I like being outdoors, but I think I would actually answer travel. Really, really like to travel. I actually very recently came back I was on leave from Microsoft for 6 months traveling the world with
that's
my husband,
Interesting.
which I was in Germany, and apparently I was very close to Ben. Now I know. Now I know where Ben
whoopsies.
lives. So next time I'm there, I will stop by. But yes, it's been a lifelong dream for us to do sort of like an extended travel. We were kind
That's
of
awesome.
calling it our grown-up study abroad.
Yeah.
So we went
Nice.
to 20 countries. We started in May. We got back in November. All over the place: Southeast Asia, Europe, East Asia. It was amazing. We just really like to, we like to try different foods. We like to learn about different cultures, go see all of the cultural, old buildings and sites. So it was awesome.
Well, that sounds
And
amazing.
yeah, it was 6 months, so it's a long time. So probably taking it down a notch for our upcoming travels, but it is still something that we enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's cool. Where is all the data from this trip? Of the places and the food and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little old school. Well, we tried to do a travel blog, and that lasted for about 3 posts. But I switched to I'm a very pen and paper person, so I've got a couple of journals that I filled up maybe 3 journals.
Wow.
And I bought a roll of tape and a little mini pair of scissors. So I actually taped receipts and ticket stubs in there. So that's my data is all. I need to back
That's
it up
awesome.
somewhere. I need to put it in the cloud.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then of course
That's
we've
super
got
cool.
thousands of pictures that we have to sort through, but that's also in the cloud in the shoebox version of iCloud.
Perfect.
I mean,
I love that.
we're going to add a bonus question for this episode, and I'm not going to ask for your favorite place that you've seen across those 6 months because there's no proper answer. But give me your top 3. What would be
okay, good.
If any of our viewers were like, I want to go on a trip and I have no idea where, what would be your top 3 recommendations besides something that is very close to where I live so they can drop by?
Okay. Oh, I'm really glad. I've had a lot of people ask me for my favorite, and I genuinely do not have a favorite, but top 3 I can do. So in Southeast Asia, I was really surprised and really fell in love with Malaysia. It is not a place I had been before. I had really no idea what it was going to be like. I loved the food. I loved the sort of like melting pot of cultures there. We saw quite a few different parts. So we were in the city. We went to sort of like an old colonial town. We went to the highlands where they grow tea. Amazing. Loved it. We didn't go to Borneo, which is still on our list, but from what we saw, peninsular Malaysia, we really, really liked it.
Nice.
We spent 3 months in Europe, so it is really hard for me to pick one from Europe. But one that sticks out is Slovenia. We were in Lake Bled, and we also went to Postojna Cave. I apologize if I did not pronounce that correctly. But again, just really amazing, beautiful landscape. The cave was crazy, like just wild. They have these amazing like creatures there that are blind because they never see daylight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like we didn't even think that animals could live in those conditions, and then we found them in this cave. We being humans, not me, obviously.
While you were there. Hey.
Yeah. And it also reminded me, I live in Seattle, so it reminded me, Lake Bled specifically reminded me a lot of the Pacific Northwest. Beautiful mountains, nice forests, and the lake. So that was amazing. And then we spent a month in Japan, and that was my first trip to Japan. I'm half Japanese. So for me, I was like, getting to learn a little bit more about that part of myself. And then just, yeah, getting to spend a month somewhere, you just get to experience a lot of it. So that was amazing. The food, the public transportation, just how organized and friendly and yeah, just kind of totally different from any place we've ever been. But we really enjoyed our time in Japan as well.
Japan and Asia is high on my list because I've not really traveled anywhere in Asia. So, but my brother studied or taught English for a while in Japan, and I never made it out there to visit him. But just the stories and the pictures and stuff looked amazing.
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
to get
really
there one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you ever need itineraries, let me know because we've got
100%.
Google Docs and spreadsheets.
Maybe not for a month, but that would be cool though. Awesome.
Nice. Yeah, Japan is high on our list of places we want to go back to. We went in 2019 for the last time, and we definitely want to go again. And I feel like another year or two, and then Gwenny will be at that age where we can do that with her. Also, Borneo. I mean, I've been there. Gonna say more than 20 years ago, 2001. Damn, I'm old. So it has probably changed, but
just a smidge.
Back then it felt like one of those places that will never be seeing that kind of mass tourism, like places like Bali, for example, because I've been to Bali in the early 2000s, then again 2017 or so, and it had changed so much just because of all that mass tourism. It didn't feel like a place that would it was one of the most natural and untouched places I've been to, with all the pros and cons that come with that, obviously, but highly recommended. Anyways, 6 months of a trip, 6 months of eating a lot of delicious food. So your answer may either come out of these 6 months or it may be an all-time favorite. But our last question, as always, McKenna, what is your favorite food?
What is my favorite food? I like a lot of foods. Can I give a category? Like, I would say my favorite food is soup, which is very general. But I really I mean that I love the winter. I love fall, winter, but I will literally eat soup any time of year. If it's 100 degrees outside Fahrenheit, I will eat soup. Like, I think it's versatile. There's just something that, like, if I'm sick, obviously I'm going to eat soup. If I'm not sick, like, I just love
I'm eating soup anyway.
whatever. I eat soup anytime. I tried a lot of really great soup all over the world. And it's like something that I like to make. It's easy. You can freeze it. You can, soup. My answer is soup.
That's an acceptable answer.
I think so too. Also, I'm going to throw out there, I mean, there's stuff like gazpacho, so cold soup, which also works on very hot days. So.
There you go. Yeah.
That just feels a little weird to me.
Have you ever tried a gazpacho,
No,
Jess?
I haven't.
You should, because it is.
I will. I will
on
try
a real,
anything.
on a really hot day, it is so refreshing. It is mostly based on cucumbers, so it is very refreshing and all that. Give it a try. And then there's all kinds of different ways to tweak it, obviously.
I'll try it.
It's not. It is not just cold soup. It is not as.
I think that's what
blended.
You picture, though, isn't it? Like, just like, well, we're not microwaving it today, so here you go.
True story. Anyways, with the picture of cold soup in Jess's head, we are at time. McKenna, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing a bit more about you, for those that have never met you, for helping them to get to know you. Everybody, thank you for joining us for yet another year. We are really getting close to that 100th episode, Jess. This was number 90, so there's 10 to go. We really have to start thinking about what we're going to do.
The big plan.
In post-production for that one, or maybe we're just going to have a parade.
We have to order some confetti cannons. Yeah.
Yes, we should do that.
We really
Although
should.
then we have to clean them up.
See, and that is the advantage of being like in a proper office like me, because yes, some people will hate me, but will totally be worth it, right? Because I mean, it's the 100th episode.
Yeah.
Anyways, we got about 10 more weeks to get that planning. So with that, thank you both very much again. Thank you everyone for watching. Happy New Year, and we see you next week with yet another friend. Bye.
Bye, folks.
Bye. Thank you.